On the road, yeah, back again, and today we're heading to the very bottom of League 2. It's sad times for Leyton Orient Football Club. Let's go. Bus. First job, pick up our guest for today. It's Tomo from Palmer's FC.
Hello.
Hello. And now we're heading past Palmer's College, home to Palmer's FC. You see it every other week, so no need for an on the road for this one. Heading into Grays for my second job, traffic. Head to Mo's Taylor's, pick up a dress for Sharan.
Got a dress to pick up for Sharan.
Picked up the dress for Sharan. Boot. And now we're on to the third job, bus. Third job, pick up my suit from the Classic Dry Cleaners. Picked up my suit from the Classic Dry Cleaners. Boot. Fourth job, fill up the tank. Tomo's so bored he's fallen asleep. Oh no, he hasn't. I do not believe it. Fill up the tank, 54.68 on fuel. Jesus. And now we're actually going somewhere. Traffic. And now we're in a place where the buses are different colours. And now we're in a car park where there aren't any buses at all. And in this car park where there's no buses at all, there's also no spaces at all. Found a space. It's half a mile down the road next to a tennis court. Welcome to Upminster, where I've just spent £11.80 on a return to Leyton Midland Road. One stop down and we've arrived in Barking. And we're going on the overground. Here's the train. Jump on. And wonder why all public transport seats are just crap designs. And we're off. And now we're here. Where? Leyton Midland Road. We're heading down these steps and up the high street, where Tomo fancies some chicken. But not Southern fried chicken from here. He wants to find one a little nearer to the ground. Now that's a Chinese takeaway. And that's a Malaysian. And that's a meat wagon. Considered doing chicken run, but it's closed. Found this place called Five Lads. That rings a bell. But we keep walking on, and Tomo eventually goes for something he knows. I'll grab a mighty bucket for one that's £6.19, please. Time to find a seat in this lovely park where there's a peaceful protest ahead of the game. Couldn't find a seat, so we just sit on the floor. Meanwhile, peaceful protest continues. Now, you might be wondering why there's a peaceful protest. Let me explain to the best of my knowledge. Back in the 2013-14 season, Leyton Orient found themselves in the League One playoff final on the cusp of Championship football. Unfortunately, they lost out to Rotherham on penalties. Following that, Francesco Bacchetti bought the club in an attempt to hoist them up to the Championship and obviously beyond. Unfortunately for Leyton Orient, this wasn't the case. The following season, they were relegated to League 2, and now to this season, which is full of debt, unpaid wages and relegation to the National League. I wonder why the fans are singing Bacchetti out. This man has single-handedly ruined this club, and Tomo's got something in his shoe. It's now time to collect the tickets on what is a sad day, the last home game for Leyton Orient in the Football League for, well, we don't know. More signs of the feeling around this club. Here's where we collect the tickets from. Got the tickets, that's 22 quid for this home game against Colchester United. And now it's time to head in. That was a struggle. But football, where Rangers have just been smashed 5-1 by Celtic, and we're at the Tommy Johnston bar, where I'm not too hungry, but I'm going to buy a couple of beers. £7, please. And with the change of a tenner, I've just received my first ever new £1 coin. I might not like beer too much, but I'm having a drink for Leyton Orient today. This is pretty cool. Like it. Also bumped into Zaki, Arsenal fan, but he's showing his support for Leyton Orient.
Hello.
Hello. It looks like we're going in. Up some steps, past some seats, and here is the view. That noise, that's actually coming from the Colchester fans that we're sitting right next to. Here we've got a ball boy, the potential future for Leyton Orient, if there is a future for this club. I've noticed there's not many people taking up front row seats. This isn't like Southend. No brick walls here. Great view. Great view of the Colchester team warming up. Great view of the steward watching the Colchester team warm up. And a great view of the other end of the ground where the Colchester team decide to warm up. I think they're warm, and so are the fans. Not much noise from the Orient fans, it's more visual with signs like this. The sprinklers are out, and here's Tomo getting aired by the Leyton Orient mascot. Alright mate, another time. I don't really know what this guy's doing, but I do know what this guy's doing. And another one, big up the groundsman, great surface at Leyton Orient, I must say. Mysterious bucket's been placed down, I'm not too sure what that's for, but we are going to find out. Amazing stuff, it's like the groundsman god. The sprinklers stop as he makes his way onto the pitch, and he puts the bucket down, the pitchfork goes in, and then he gets something out the bucket, I'm not too sure, but he's filling that gap there where the sprinkler once was. I'll tell you what, this is cutting edge footage, this is the stuff that you don't normally see at football grounds. And I know you're absolutely over the moon to see it. I didn't catch the Stone Island pop-up shop outside the ground, but the Colchester firm are officially in town. There's flats in each corner of the ground, not a bad view if you live here, I'm telling you. Especially if you're a Leyton Orient fan like the top floor of this flat. Anyway, it's that time as the teams emerged, Leyton Orient in the red, Colchester in the grey and black. View of the security got their eyes on the Colchester firm at the back there. If I miss anything today, this lad certainly isn't. That's massive. Quite a big lens as well. But before we start this one, should we find out the facts? Name? We all know that. It's Leyton Orient. Founded 1881. Proper old. What about the home ground? That'll be Brisbane Road, also known as the Matchroom Stadium. What about the capacity? Just your 9,271 all-seater. Beautiful. Normally I'd add a fact about the club, but today I'm just going to say Bacchetti out. And on that note, let's go. So we start things off with a shot from Eastman, deflection, that's a corner. Here's today's bet on Betball. 473 people followed me on this one, no pressure Smiv. Anyway, back to that corner which comes to absolutely nothing. Started to get a little nippy, might consider a hot chocolate at half time. Meanwhile, a select few Orient fans tried to get the rest of them singing, not really working though. Up the other end, they're more interested in playing with inflatable balls. I know, mate, it's not been an entertaining start to the game, has it? Let's get the beers out, liven it up a bit, you know? Actually, you know what, they've had too many. In fact, far too many. This geography teacher's taken the wrong turn. Meanwhile, back on the pitch, a Colchester free kick narrowly goes wide. Looks like the Leyton Orient firm has taken matters into their own hands now. All one of them. Shame he doesn't know what's going on behind him. Now, I'm normally pretty good at capturing most of the goals in this series, but today I've let myself down. And that first goal looks to have woken up this lad up here. He was in bed because he was on nights last night. I bet he's thinking, oh, Colchester at home, I should have put the earplugs in. My man's still going, and fair play to him as well. Here comes the backup, all two of them. And now with the blue smoke going off, I feel like I'm watching some Eastern European football tie in the Europa League. You know the one I mean, don't you? The one that kicks off 4 o'clock on a Thursday afternoon due to TV rights and time zones. Geography teachers getting right involved now. I don't know what the hate's about, to be honest, but it feels like they're having a go at the family stand. Wrong people. Uh-oh, here come the old Bill. It might just quieten down a little bit now. No, tell a lie, they're throwing these on the pitch now. I feel like justice for stewards was the thing, but now with all this, they're gonna have to keep a watchful eye out. On what though? The 2 inflatable balls in the crowd now? That's heavy stuff. They'll need backup. It looks like backups arrived down this end. Probably wise. And that, my friends, is half time. More happening off of the pitch than on the pitch. And despite being at home, it feels like a very lonely place to be as an Orient fan right now. The Leyton Orient firm has taken a break. So are we. Let's get something to eat or drink. Oh, pies. Great idea. Here's the latest scores in the Premier League, showing why it's the best league in the world. And here's the cues. Sod that. I'll go during the second half. And so we head back out where the women's team are parading a trophy. At least they're doing all right in one area of the club. More of Colchester warming up. Subs this time. Meanwhile, Orient are back out and they're doing the okie dokie. Anyone up for a second half of football? Let's hope so. That inflatable ball still on the go. Orient fans expecting a long half perhaps. Or maybe not. Well, that certainly put the smile on some people's faces to the point of where they're getting naked. We move on as the game continues. Sunday League problems with the police in the way, and Colchester mount pressure with a few chances here and there. That's not to say Orient didn't have any of their own. They just weren't as clear cut as this. 2-1. Colchester certainly singing again. Well, they've scored one. Granted, it was a screamer that we missed, but it's always going to give you hope that you can get back into the game. One thing that won't get you back into the game is conceding another goal straight away. If I didn't already feel sorry for Leyton Orient, I certainly do now. Meanwhile, in the bet, things aren't going well either. And now cue absolute uproar. Leyton Orient fans have had enough, they're running on the pitch, and now it's just an absolute free-for-all. That's right, there goes the corner flag. Oh, and here's the rest of the Leyton Orient firm. And the Colchester fans remind Leyton Orient that... They are. They're staying up. The majority of this stand don't seem too keen on going on the pitch themselves. And now it's all kicking off. This lad thinking he can take on the whole stand. He's going to have to get through the 4 policemen that have pinned him down first of all. Here's one of those videos that get put on Facebook where I've got your badge number, mate, you're getting sacked. Let's face it, he won't. I mean, to be fair, they've got a lot on their plate right now. And I think the main priority is not letting Colchester fans on the pitch with this lot. More confrontation, but the biggest question I have is why is there a peg on this man's collar? Time passes and people have gone home. Actually, tell a lie, they're on the pitch. So should we join them? Let's join them. I mean, the most we're going to get is a stadium ban. I don't think I'm going to be coming back anytime soon. And so we cross the line of this beautiful surface. We touch the surface and find it's a great place for photos and more photos and people with buckets on their head. And now we're at the front of this protest. I mean, people obviously love this club, and the message is clear, to the point of where it's not just your typical lads taking to the pitch and doing a protest. These are families, mums, dads, sons, daughters, cousins, nans, granddads, and any other family members I haven't mentioned. Here's a couple of lads that got Leyton Orient passed down to them.
Hello.
Hello. Replace the name of your team up there and imagine what these fans have gone through. And I think for the Colchester fans who have been at Leyton Orient this whole game, something eventually clicked. It doesn't matter what team you support, it doesn't matter what colours you wear, we all love football, we all love our club, and that's what makes us exactly the same. Pachetti out. 10 minutes ago, I'm pretty sure this lad probably wanted to kick someone's head in. Now he's funding their club. And so am I. The best £10 I spent today. I mean, we're talking about a beautiful moment in football right here, but there is always time for a joke as well. Don't worry, Southend, you're alright. There's pretty dark times ahead at the moment for Leyton Orient, relegated to the National League. And if you want to help a football club with plenty of history survive, then be sure to check out the link in the description to the Leyton Orient Fans Trust. From there, you'll be able to donate whatever you can afford to help them get through these tough times.
Right, if you love this club the way you love this club, listen, if we don't come off this pitch, listen, we don't get off the pitch. No one wants us.
Listen, this guy's here to help, but with cartwheels on the field, it doesn't look like this game's going to carry on anytime soon. Tom was happy to chew in the sun that's now come out though. Eventually people got bored and did get off the pitch. Obviously a fair majority did stay. Then things got a little bit heated between stewards and fans. People started to get pissed off. I might be wrong. This guy actually looks like he's about to bust some breakdancing moves. And then it was eventually decided that the game would be abandoned. And so off we go. Should we rate this day? Let's. As usual, we're going to kick off with atmosphere, and we've got Colchester United to thank for that. Hardly stopped singing throughout, and despite having a few wrong-uns in there, which most clubs always do anyway, by far the loudest set of away fans I've come across in a long time. and for that, Colchester United, you brought the atmosphere. Couldn't fault it. 5 bloody gold ones. Next up, we're talking facilities. There doesn't seem to be a bad seat in the house. There's certainly going to be some National League teams looking to come to Brisbane Road next season. Sure, it's a little bit old in places, but hey, that's character. I actually really like this ground. I'm going to give it 4 stars. Next up, we're talking food and drink. I had a KFC, not inside the ground. Doesn't count. The only thing I did have inside the ground was a sole. It was very okay, but then again, I'm not a big fan of beer. Wish I'd gone back in the second half to try something, but unfortunately didn't get the chance to do it. And with the beer being very okay, 2.5 stars. Finally, we're talking cost. Was it value for money? Well, when you take away the petrol costs and all the other bits and pieces like that, I only spent 22 on the ticket and £3 on a beer, which is 25 in total. Didn't see a full game, but I did go on the pitch and there was a great atmosphere. So did I get my money's worth? I think so. I'm going to give it 4 stars. So as we make our way up the steps, one final look at the ground, and then boom, we're outside. Now, despite this being the first time that I've visited this ground, I do have a soft spot for them. My dad, born in Walthamstow, often visited, and they are like a second club for a lot of people this side of London. That reminds me of another team. But as we make our way up the high street, the police make their way down it. With the magic of editing, we're back at Leyton Midland Road. And it's just a simple case of doing the same journey reversed. I actually found out later on that the remainder of the game was played behind closed doors, still ended 3-1. I hope you enjoyed this one, guys, and I genuinely hope Leyton Orient can turn things around. Once again, if you want to help this club that's been dragged down through no fault of its own, you can follow the link in the description below for the Leyton Orient Fans Trust. Donate there, whatever you can afford. Until then, don't forget to drop a like on the video, subscribe if you haven't done so already, and be sure to check out all the other football content on the channel. I will see you in the next one.